The Hollywood Reporter is reporting that Ryan Gosling could be in talks to star in Shawn Levy's Star Wars movie. As usual with stories like these, take it all with a grain of salt. This is not an official announcement, it's one of those sources say kind of things, but The Hollywood Reporter is the kind of publication I personally put more stock in. Whether or not Gosling actually signs on remains to be seen, but I do want to talk about the potential because I really like Ryan Gosling. Star Wars blends so many genres together, and Ryan Gosling has proven he's capable of handling all of them. Romance? Check. Science fiction? Check. Science fiction with Harrison Ford? Check. Action? Check. Comedy? Check. Action comedy? Check. Musical? Okay, maybe Star Wars doesn't do a ton in the musical space, but just in case, check. I personally think Ryan Gosling is at his best when he's dipping into comedy. The Nice Guys is incredible. The Fall Guy was one of my favorite movies of 2024, and it was criminally underwatched, just endlessly funny and entertaining. He's also recently wrapped filming for Project Hail Mary, which is based on the book by the same name by Andy Weir, who also wrote The Martian. I liked Project Hail Mary more than The Martian because that story is about two very different people coming together to save each other and save humanity. It was a funny and heartwarming story that was very personal, but also had massive stakes. It felt very Star Wars to me in a lot of ways, so Gosling seems like a fun fit to me. I'm actually a little surprised I'm so into this casting potential. I remember when Benicio del Toro or Woody Harrelson were announced for The Last Jedi and Solo, and I felt like they were a little too well known for Star Wars. I was so used to the idea that the originals and prequels starred up-and-comers in the industry, but as the years have gone by on Disney Plus, I've progressively become more and more normalized to big names headlining Star Wars projects. Pedro Pascal, Carl Weathers, Stellan Skarsgård, and of course most recently Jude Law. He might be one of the biggest stars to step into the Star Wars galaxy, and I don't think I was ever bugged by it the way I have been in the past. And he also knocked his role out of the park. I'm glad that kind of thing doesn't give me pause anymore. I mean, I still think it would be odd if, say, Hugh Jackman or Ryan Reynolds came into Star Wars, but we're not there yet. And I bring them up specifically since the director of Deadpool and Wolverine, Shawn Levy, is supposedly directing this movie, which could start filming this year. This is such an interesting project because we have heard very little about it. Levy has confirmed several times he is working on a Star Wars movie, but I don't think Lucasfilm has ever publicly said anything about it. I expect they're waiting for Celebration this April to make a big to-do about it, which would be great so we can hear official word on when it takes place and what it would be about. On the podcast Happy, Sad, Confused, Levy suggested it would be in a new part of the timeline, and some early rumors have suggested the initial pitch was about an older Rey set farther in the future than 15 years. But I think more recent rumors have stated the story has changed since the initial pitch, which makes sense if Ryan Gosling is supposed to be the top-billed star. If this movie is set to begin filming in 2025, I think we can expect some details at Celebration Tokyo in April. The landscape has changed pretty drastically since the last Celebration update in London, where we learned about 3 coming movies, and none of them are the next in the slate. Mando and Grogu swooped in, and now we've got Levy's movie that we know nothing about. Regardless, it's nice to know that The Mandalorian and Grogu won't be like a quick one-and-done return to the big screen for Star Wars, but we will probably, hopefully, get something in 2027 as well. We're 3 months out from Celebration, and I'm hopeful that they'll have plenty to tell us about. Star Wars Explained will be going, we've got our flights and hotel booked, and we'll cover everything that gets announced. Until then, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on our socials, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.